fresh. Not a word that you associate with fast food most of the time. But this episode is fresh. It's freaky fresh in the fact that we are reviewing breakfast sandwiches. And I want to note that at the time we recorded this, there was not the push for social distancing. Obviously, we're at a time when the world has changed and is changing every single day. And so I don't want a bunch of letters from people who are saying, oh, they put themselves at risk.
Yeah, this was not recorded in the midst of a pandemic. At least we weren't at that level yet. We were about a week or so away when we recorded this episode. But now, JJ, you are sitting in your basement, I believe, right?
I am. I am only wearing my underpants right now.
And I'm in my apartment.
And what are you wearing? What are you wearing?
I'm fully clothed.
Well, I mean, what does that mean to you? Okay, good.
Clown costume, clown makeup.
Here's what's interesting is we're doing this via an online portal. One of the things that we've always told people who ask us, hey, you make JJ Meets World, you've got over hundreds and hundreds of hours of content. How do you do it? Well, we found a way to record episodes even when we're not directly in front of each other via this online portal that Tucker's hooked us up with. And Tucker, I mean, hats off to you. This is some pretty cool stuff because as I sit in the comfort of my basement and you sit wearing your clown nose and your clown cargo shorts, we are able to continue recording, and we aim to continue recording.
Yeah, that's the plan. We don't know how long we're all going to be on quarantine lockdown. We don't know at what point we'll think it's even ethical to sit in a room again with guests in the worry that we're going to get them sick or they're going to get us sick. So for the time being, we're going to be doing this from the internet, and let's see how it works out.
Here's a little piece of inside baseball for everyone. In front of me, I'm looking at a brick wall in my basement, and there's 3 pieces of art. One piece of art is called After the Bake Sale, and it's a bunch of little old church ladies who've fallen asleep sitting together on a bench. Next to that is a page from an old calendar of a woman wearing glasses. It's like an Italian artist who made a calendar for some optometrist in Fargo back in the day, and my mom had them professionally framed because she thought they were so cool. And then on the far right is a picture of John Wheeler's legs. John Wheeler is a local weatherman, and he's holding a cup of coffee, wearing a robe. It's a watercolor painting that his wife did.
This is your new office, is what you're describing to us. This is where you'll be doing both your day job and your JJ Meets World job for the foreseeable future.
And anyone who knows me knows that a lot of times whatever is directly in front of me is what influences my discussions. So if I start talking about, I've only shaved my legs as a man once, you'll know that it's John Wheeler's legs. Or, my vision has always been really amazing, but I'm worried it's slipping a little bit. I'm looking at the Italian calendar. And last but certainly not least, if I talk about how in love I am with Angela Lansbury, I'm probably looking at the little old ladies after the bake sale painting.
Yeah.
There's also a bunch of stuff about my wife, but I don't intend to talk about her that much.
How's she dealing with seeing you constantly now?
So, we are self-isolating at this point. She's working from home. I'm actually doing my show from home, and it's been all right because we kind of treat the working day as if we wouldn't be seeing each other anyway. Okay. So she's not coming down and bothering me much, and I'm not bothering her much, but I know that at one point confines are going to get a little too close.
Yeah.
So we're fully prepared. We took some tips from Dr. Phil. One of them being you need to have a safe word so that if there's a point of where you start arguing or someone gets on your nerves, you just say pineapple and they know that means walk out of the room and whatever it is, just let it go and be done with it. But we've also been eating really well because we've been forced to cook more often than not. So it's been good. How about you? How's your life situation, Tucker?
I'm actually in a really lucky situation where it doesn't fully affect me in the same way that it's going to affect a lot of other people. I am a fairly solitary person. I'm an introvert. I spend a lot of time on my own with my day job. Before the closings were even happening, we were already moved to a remote style working where we didn't have to be in the office all the time. We could remote over the internet if we needed to, when we needed to. So for us, it's really easy. I'm lucky right now that I don't work in the service industry where, people who tend bar, who wait tables, who cook food, all those folks, they're out of work right now and they're hurting. So I'm definitely really lucky. And I'm just hanging around with my cats and my goldfish. Got a bunch of food and going to be finding ways to be creative while we're here. So I'm going to be working on a bunch of JJ Meets World stuff over all this period of time. We're going to try to rack up some awesome guests since we're not worried about geography anymore. Who knows who will get into the JJ Meets World virtual studio.
And, we should mention this too, because people have more free time on their hands. If you've ever said, oh gosh, I've got a great idea for a guest, but they're always busy.
Right.
Maybe this is a prime opportunity for us to grab some of those guests and bring them onto JJ Meets World. So if you've got an idea, you can reach out to us via Facebook. We also are talking about maybe some live stream things down the pipeline.
Hell yeah.
So JJ Meets World will keep you as entertained as possible. But for today's episode, I want to tell you this, depending on where you're at in your days of quarantine, if you don't think you can handle talk of delicious breakfast sandwiches, this is just go play a previous episode, skip to the next one, whatever you want to do.
It's so funny. We've only been under like this sort of pandemic quarantine, social distancing program for only a couple of days. And this episode was a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And it feels like a different time entirely. I mean, we're talking about just, oh yeah, we're hanging out. We got breakfast, fast food. What else should we do today? Oh, let's go someplace that's densely packed with people.
Oh yeah. There was never in a moment when we recorded this where I thought, oh, Britta coughed. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Simpler times.
It's interesting. I do think you're going to enjoy this episode. And so this brief intro aside, the regular episode of JJ Meets World is right around the corner. So just sit back and we'll even start with the regular intro and everything like that. But we just wanted to have this little discussion with you going forward so you know about our setup a little bit more. And again, we're not putting anyone at risk. We're doing our best to exercise social distancing in a time when an abundance of caution is necessary. Tucker, are we ready to roll? You have all the reels ready to go?
Let's do it.
JJ Meets World.
Good morning, podcast listener. Are you hungry for a delicious breakfast sandwich? Well, you don't have to worry about where you're going to go because Tucker, Britta, and myself all test these sandwiches to tell you who's got the best fast food sandwich. And if you're drunk, this is especially good because I think Britta's ranking system is purely based on how much you've had to drink the night before. Sit back, relax, enjoy this episode of JJ Meets World as we break down the best fast food breakfast sandwiches. But first, a quick word from our non-breakfast food-based sandwich sponsor. This episode of JJ Meets World is brought to you by Natalie Deutsch of Hatch Realty. Natalie has a proven track record to get your home sold faster and for more money. She is consistently focused on her clients' needs and wants throughout the entire process and make sure that they are well taken care of. If you're looking to buy or sell, reach out to Natalie today. On average, Natalie sells a home every 3.74 days. That's at least 2 a week. And last year, Natalie earned her clients on average over $4,000 above list price on their homes. And you don't have to take our word for it. Here's some of the great reviews Natalie has received. I was overwhelmingly impressed with Natalie and all the Hatch team. She was very responsive and responded to all of the emails within an hour. She gave great advice and encouragement from the listing and pictures, the offer, and all the closing details. The marketing team knew exactly how to promote my property, and I was pleased by how soon and easily my property received an offer. I was actually dreading selling my condo, and Natalie did such an awesome job that I felt like I really didn't need to do anything. The thing I most appreciated was that she really listened to what I wanted to do and respected my decisions. I would definitely recommend Natalie and all the Hatch Realty team. They made this process so wonderful. That was from Diane. So listen, if you're in the mood to buy or sell a home, give Natalie a call right now now. You can reach her at 701-388-9338. Natalie, Natalie, at hatchrealtyfm.com, or you can go to livefargomorehead.com. That's livefargomorehead.com and find out some information. Huge thanks to Natalie Deutsch of Hatch Realty for sponsoring JJ Meets World.
1, 2, 3, 4. J.J. Gordon, sort of like that Indiana Jones, in that he's always sniffing out his next adventure. Yes, he is. He's always interviewing guests so he can have them on his show and they can talk about pop culture, arts, and leisure. J.J. has his flag unfurled and he likes his french fries curled, and he's fun and then he twirls as he goes to meet the world. He will march into the rain even if his ankle sprained. Take a peek inside his brain. This podcast is called JJ Meets World.
In order of my preference, it goes waffles, pancakes, French toast.
So number one is waffles.
Number one is waffles, because they can. Waffle is the perfect syrup. I'm looking at things I put syrup on, right?
Sure.
It holds its own, right? It is
It's got a bunch of little syrup bowls on top of it.
Right. If you think about it, a waffle is like the retention guide to stopping flooding, whereas waffles are overland. And
What's French toast?
French toast, I think, is a diversion, right? Okay. Because the lip on the side of the toast will always keep it going kind of towards the center, like funneling into one spot. Or
would you consider yourself the Dennis Wallaker of breakfast foods?
Breakfast foods? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can't tell what's for breakfast before, like the night before, the way he could with a flood. I am going to also say this, ranking in order of my preference, it's lunch, dinner, breakfast. I think breakfast is the one meal where you are 100% locked down to your meal choices. Not like, because you can have breakfast for dinner. Like, you can have fried eggs as part of your evening meal, but I think it's weird if you have spaghetti in the morning. I wish we could change that in our culture, because I love non-breakfast foods. There's some breakfast foods I go like, this is good, I enjoy this, but it's never going to be my first choice. Never.
Right.
Never. Not in a million years. That's why I got so excited when all of a sudden they said that burgers were going to start be available at the early morning hours in some drive-through places. Right. Because I want what I want when I want it.
Right.
Breakfast food is BS. That's just where we're at as a society. Breakfast food is BS. But Wendy's put out a pretty substantial claim saying that they have now the best morning breakfast with the release of these new sandwiches.
Right.
So Tucker had a brilliant idea where he said, listen, I want you to try all the new sandwiches. And I said, how about if we put them up against the other fast food places' sandwiches?
Right. And we should in full disclosure too, the intention was that I would be doing this with you.
Yeah.
But so last night I ate a bunch of Thai food for dinner, which was delicious, but I've been paying for it this morning. And when I got here, like I had bought a bunch of sandwiches and I knew I was not going to be able to even try them without getting nauseous. Luckily, we have a return guest.
Right. Britta Nelson's back today. And what's great about Britta is she and I have judged so many food competitions over the years that she's the perfect co-host in this scenario.
Yeah, it was clear in this episode that you two have a good track record of judging food together. You were on the same page.
And we also we have differences. So there were things that she liked more than I did, which is also a nice thing because we represent more of the general public out there. I could probably eat just about anything on the planet with Britta and be able to discuss it. If you want an even deeper knowledge of what Britta is like, you can go back and listen to previous episodes. I think she like episode number 3.
Yeah.
Plus, we've got a food-based one where she gives some recipes.
Girl Rush, I think, is the title of her episode.
That's what it absolutely was. So I think folks are really going to get a kick out of this thing. And here's the deal: if you've been thinking about trying the new Wendy's sandwiches, we try them for you, and we compare them to the sausage, egg, cheese, and cheese McMuffin. We compare them to the sausage, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich. And I've already taken some major flack on social media by not including Hardee's as part of this. So I apologize to you Hardee's loyalists out there, and I will go and eat one of those sandwiches, I promise. and include it into some of the rankings.
Also, if you are looking for more Britta, she's also in the 3-part Dungeons and Dragons episode series that we did.
Air D&D, the Batter of Butterslide.
Yeah, I forget what the third one was called. But then she's also in our very first all improv episode, Marriage is Going to McDonald's. So there's a lot of chances for Britta. And if you want a Britta marathon, the easiest way to do that is go to www.jjmeetsworld.com.
Do you really need to say the www?
I
Just
love-
go to
I love saying it.
jjmeetsworld.com.
Or you know the rest, .jjmeetsworld.com.
Trip dub period. JJ Meets World period.
If you scroll down to the category tags where you can look up different episodes, there's also a search field. And if you type in her name, it's going to bring up every episode that she's in right there for you. We do all the work for you at JJ Meets World, so you can have a Britta Nelson marathon one day if you want.
I didn't even know that was a possibility.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
even learning things about our website now. Is there merch?
There's merch.
Oh my God.
Yep, there's a Patreon. There's a videos section now. There's
Love
a
videos.
playlist. JJ's got a blog up there, and we're going to keep adding stuff to this website. So keep checking out jjmeetsworld.com for more funsies.
I love it. All right. Enjoy this episode of JJ Meets World with Britta Nelson. You can smell the grease from where you're listening.
JJ Meets World.
Britta Nelson, welcome back to the JJ Meets World studios. We've invited you back for a very important episode. We're doing what I consider God's work. We are going through the most popular breakfast sandwiches stacked up against the newest breakfast sandwich, fast food style, on the market. So we're working with the sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin. I chose that over the biscuit.
Classic.
It's classic, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic, right? Yeah, because it's got the Mick in there, muffin. Even though it's an English muffin, and the English and the Irish never really got together.
Right.
You know, that wasn't a
I mean,
thing.
they never saw eye to eye. They got
Right.
together.
Yeah.
Plenty
we
of
also
times.
have a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich representing the French. That comes from Burger King.
It's me.
And then Wendy's brand new sandwiches, which, I mean, just from the visual of the wrapper alone, really stands out compared to the other ones.
So did you hear about launch day
for the
for
breakfast
the
sandwich
breakfast sandwiches
at Wendy's? No.
Wendy's?
Mm-mm.
So what the launch is what spurred all this on. I know JJ and I are fans of a good breakfast sandwich.
Yeah,
and because
I'm a regular breakfast sandwich. I'm a fan of all kinds of food, but especially breakfast sandwiches.
that's why we figured
Yeah.
you'd be a perfect addition to join us for this today. But so their main competition is McDonald's. You know, McDonald's has been, you know, sort of in the space of breakfast fast food. It's got the biggest brand. It's the most well known. It's probably the most popular. And so for I think like the first week that Wendy's offered their breakfast, McDonald's offered like free Egg McMuffins like all week, just to try to like take
Just
a
to keep
ding,
people from Wendy's.
just
so
to
that
take
they wouldn't try it.
just to try to take a ding out of their opening like weekend or week to see how it would go.
Fast food wars, man. I love it.
Well, and so let's talk quickly about, I feel like people have been to Burger King and they've been to McDonald's. Let's talk about what the Wendy's offering is for their breakfast menu. So Wendy's breakfast is here. That's how they're positioning themselves. They've arrived like company.
Okay.
They've arrived at your home. And okay, so what do we have here? So we've got oh my goodness, why am I not seeing this directly? Okay. So they are on a flaky croissant. I
Depends
like
on which sandwich you're picking.
Is that?
These are all different.
are they all different?
The three that I picked.
You got the biscuit sized or biscuit one too?
So I'm pretty sure the chicken sandwich, the maple chicken sandwich that I picked up, I think that's on a croissant. I think.
I would think that was a horrible choice because chicken and biscuits go hand in hand.
I could be wrong. I think the sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich I got, I think that's on a biscuit. And then there's like a Baconator breakfast sandwich in there.
So the Baconator breakfast sandwich is 6 strips of Applewood smoked bacon, freshly cracked fried egg, sausage patty, American cheese, and Swiss cheese sauce on a bun.
Whoa!
I have heard the Swiss cheese sauce is
Amazing.
nothing short of heaven.
You would think it would be bland.
No. Apparently
I
not.
think a good Swiss cheese has a good tang to it.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not saying Swiss cheese isn't flavorful or delicious. It is, But when I would compare it to really anything else, it's fairly bland.
Sure,
cheese.
compared to cheddar or
Right. Which is why I never understand why people put Swiss cheese ever on like a Philly cheesesteak. It's like, this is the wrong cheese to pick.
The honey butter chicken biscuit is the breakfast sandwich.
Oh, okay, so it's on a biscuit.
Yep. So chicken is on the biscuit, which means that the standard sausage, egg, and cheese is a croissant.
Right.
Which is going to be good. I hope that they find a way to incorporate this cheese into everything, but probably not. So those are new.
Wendy's is my favorite fast food burger. So
Bar none, really?
Yeah. So I have high hopes for these.
So remember when Wendy's had their like never frozen like guarantee, and someone's like, "That's impossible because you could never get meat from places."
What
like,
are you killing a cow in the parking lot?
Yeah, and
They were like, "Have you heard of a refrigerator?"
Yeah, sorry, you forgot a refrigerator exists. Wendy's and Arby's, best social media for any fast food joint out there.
Right.
Those two places really knock it out of the park. So I think it's exciting that we're going to be doing this taste test this morning. I should also note that they've been sitting here for about half an hour.
Which is like the normal amount of time before you actually eat the breakfast sandwich you get when you're hungover in the morning. So I think this is a good way to test them.
Because you pick this up and then you got to go somewhere and like maybe get a cup of coffee and you get home and then you're like, oh, can I even stomach this right now? We don't have any of the home ones, so there's no Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwich. That's an entirely separate podcast.
This is all stuff you get from a drive-through, specifically. Now, here on JJ Meets World, we value the scientific method. We value data.
I have formed a hypothesis.
Yeah.
And we will work forward. Yep.
So I want to just talk briefly with you two about how you would prefer we go forward with rating these or scoring these. Do you want to come to consensus on a rating, or do you want to each be able to give your own rating for a particular sandwich?
And then add them up.
Do you like a 5 scale, a 10 scale? What works for you two?
Britta and I have been in many, many food judging situations in our friendship. So I feel like we've got a pretty good basis. I feel like appearance is one.
Yep.
I feel like taste is another one.
Yep.
And then
like texture, mouthfeel.
Yeah. And so we could, what if we graded each of those up to 5 from 1 to 5?
Sure. That works.
And then I also think that we should be able to, this is something new that I've picked up in a couple like chili judging competitions.
Oh.
We want to be able to give a bonus 4 points to one sandwich that we think knocked it out of the park. So even if the look of the sandwich isn't great, you can still like it can still
one can
move
still
up.
win on taste wise.
Yeah.
Now, do you then think that you each will give your own rating, or are you going to try to decide together what the rating would be on
we
something?
each give our own rating.
And then, it's a tally system.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So then I think what we can do is I can go grab a knife because we can cut these so you can
tear them.
It's
right. Do you want? Oh, Britta wants to cut them.
I mean, I feel like you might run into some problems tearing some of the egg patties and things, and it not being evenly distributed. And I would hate to not get all of the things on my portion of the sandwich.
Okay. I mean, I can tear an egg. So
I'll go grab that.
You're
gonna
get a knife.
platter.
Okay, so Britta and I will continue our discussion here.
Okay.
About fast food breakfast. So. We've traveled many places together, and fast food breakfast is something we tend to avoid. We go more for a continental breakfast.
Yeah, I like those Bloody Marys in the morning, and you can't get that out of a fast food window.
Although, why isn't someone offering like a tomato juice, like a virgin Bloody Mary?
I feel like you probably can get like a V8 at some places, maybe.
I don't know if
you don't think so?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I mean, I don't want it if it doesn't have the vodka in it anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Like it's a waste of my mouth muscles.
Juice, gross.
When you have fast food breakfast, you mentioned McDonald's is your jam.
Yeah.
What is it? What's the McDonald's menu item you choose?
It's the sausage egg McMuffin. That's classic. I used to, when I was younger, get the bagel. There's like a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, but I don't know if they sometimes don't have it anymore, or if it like rotated for a while. And then I started just getting the sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin. And it's usually, if I'm getting fast food breakfast, I'm either like on a road trip and it's a forced decision, or I'm hungover in the morning. And it's like a comfort thing. And I don't necessarily think that it's the best, but I think that McDonald's is just what pops into my head first.
Okay. I will note that Burger King is my favorite. The croissant, which is where it's at. But what I would do is we have a McDonald's and a Burger King located within a block of each other.
Walking distance.
Near my house. And I will get the croissant sandwich because I think that's the best. But then I'll go and I'll get 2 hash browns from McDonald's because I like the fact that they have the full-size hash brown versus the little tiny. They've got the crispy crowns.
Oh, like little tater tots.
Yeah,
discs.
At the Burger King. Plus, I prefer the Diet Coke at McDonald's. So
wait, so it
to
tastes
the Diet Coke at Burger King, or do they not have Coke?
No, they've got Coke.
But the McDonald's one tastes better.
you-
McDonald's Diet Coke is special, right?
It is,
that a
yeah,
thing?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What?
Oh, you haven't heard about this?
No.
Oh, the Coca-Cola Company and McDonald's went through a scientific process similar to what we're doing today to figure out the optimal serving style of Diet Coke and Coca-Cola. So they figured part of the thing is you need to refrigerate the syrup bags so that when it comes out, it's not like warm syrup mixing with cold water. And so there's a whole lot that goes in. Plus the straws are bigger so that you can actually consume more without having to like cause fizz. There's a whole giant breakdown. So if you have a Coke at McDonald's, it's going to taste different than a Coke anywhere else. Also, I do not like the Coke freeform machines where you can add a million different things.
I love that.
I don't think it tastes the same. I think it tastes slightly artificial,
Well, I think
which
that's
is
because
weird.
you're always getting Diet Coke. I like to put different flavors in everything. Like, that's
Make
my
a choice
jam.
in your life,
No.
Britta. Just
I like
make
to
a
try
choice and
'em
stick
all.
with it.
So an ideal fast food breakfast then for you would be going and getting the food from Burger King and then getting the Diet Coke from McDonald's.
Oh, but I also the hash
the
browns
hash
from
browns.
McDonald's.
I mean, the hash browns from McDonald's are nice too because they add on to a sandwich really easily. So anytime I get McDonald's breakfast, I usually get 2 hash browns as well because one of those hash browns is going on the sandwich.
Lovely,
Yeah.
lovely. Well, so I never get any bacon option at fast food restaurants because I don't like fast food bacon. I like my bacon crispy and not this
Microwave
bacon that they seem to like offer.
Sure.
Which is weird because don't all these places talk about how they've got amazing griddles and like
But they don't put the bacon on it.
Yeah.
See, I think that the Wendy's bacon, though, might surprise you.
it'll be crispy,
Possibly.
thicker.
Possibly.
'Cause I
mean,
like
the
a
bacon
thick,
that's on
crispy
their
bacon.
Their bacon that's on their regular like burgers and sandwiches, I feel like is the thicker, crispier bacon compared to other fast food.
Can we also just note that like the word baconator came a decade at least too late? It's obviously a take
Like
on
a
the Terminator.
Terminator.
But by the time they announced the Baconator, it was like Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines had already been out of theaters for so long, and it wasn't even a huge hit. Was there some guy in the marketing department from like 1980 who's like, I'm telling you guys, Baconator, Baconator. And finally, when he retired, they named it in honor of him.
How would they have done it if it was after RoboCop?
Oh, that's a good...
I don't know what other sci-fi action hero you can really use to play on their name.
I think like you need bacon, the word bacon, and then some suffix after that. This is the second time
So
of the week I've
bacon
worked
cop?
suffix into it. Yeah.
Nobody wants to eat that.
I'm keeping the streets safe for flavor.
I would watch that show, but it's
Bacon
not
Cop?
necessarily something I want to eat.
I worked on a children's book once
Bacon
called...
Cop is kind of redundant.
Yeah. I wanted to write a children's book called Huevos Rancheros about a bandito egg, like a fried egg, and then he was friends with, on the U.S. side of the border, a renegade sheriff who was a piece of bacon, and they took care of all of these, like... It was gonna be good.
If we ever make El Gordo's Siesta Time Taco Hacienda, that's got to be a part of it.
That was a good. Yeah, that was a good one.
I still own that website.
Do you really?
El Gordo's Siesta Time Taco Hacienda. Yeah.
Well, shall we dig into these?
So just a qualifying question too. What are like the categories of each sandwich? You had listed them. I need to write them down.
Taste, mouthfeel, appearance, and then there's the bonus +4 you can give to a single sandwich.
Okay, so taste, mouthfeel, and appearance. Gotcha.
Just like how I judge my dates.
Mouthfeel
You don't take a small bite out of your dates?
of your
So what are we starting with, you two?
Ladies' choice.
Well, I mean, should we start with just the McDonald's
Standard? You got it.
Baseline. Why are you doing that?
I was trying to
You're
stab
gonna
it to
ruin
pick it up.
the appearance. We're testing. Appearance is part of it.
Now that's a cake knife. Is that going to work?
That'll work.
Okay.
So, take a good look at this. Do you, and I don't think that we flip it open either. I think we have to judge it
Look
on
from
how it is.
from the edges. Okay.
Now, right off the bat, I do not like the sick yellow color that
Of
the
McDonald's
wrapper.
wrapping. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I-
really need to do some updating in that
Why
department.
don't they?
I don't know.
I mean, I think that there's a color scheme that they follow, but like,
White and yellow, right?
ugh, yeah, just
It's all supposed to
Gross.
look like an egg? Everything is supposed to remind you of an egg?
I don't know. This
so the
reminds me of
red
a
and
fish sandwich.
The reason that you see like the red and yellow colors in most fast food is because they do trigger like a hunger thing for humans. Like that color combination makes you hungrier.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the classic. But like that's like a sad yellow. Like,
Yeah.
like
It is
like
the saddest of the yellows.
sad yellow.
Is it
It
supposed
doesn't-
to evoke ketchup and mustard?
I think that's actually maybe part of it, but I feel like it was like ingrained before ketchup and mustard were a thing.
That makes
But they
sense.
use
Makes
like
sense.
there's blue and orange and
And
green on this
brown?
thing.
Is that brown?
Yeah, like
that's
a brown.
yellow and brown are a horrible combination. Go Bruins.
All right, Tucker, are you going to be enjoying this with us, or are you going to sit this out?
I'm going to sit this one out because
Okay.
my tummy's not
So
settled
I just need
yet.
to half this
Just
thing.
half it, yeah.
Okay. So, Britta, you can take your half. I'll take my half.
Okay. Okay.
Now,
Doing the work that needs to be done here in JJ
Right.
Meets the World.
So appearance wise, we're scoring out of 5, correct? Appearance wise, I'm gonna give the sausage McMuffin a 2.
I'm actually completely in line with you. I'm going to give it a 2. It's not.
It's
As-
not a pretty sandwich.
No, it's not unappetizing to the point of where like I don't want it. But here are some specifics that I see on this. The cheese layer is so thin that I don't think I'm going to get the cheese that I really want. And
Sure.
it seeps into the McMuffin.
Breading,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't care for that.
Yep.
I also think that the egg does not look very good.
No, McDonald's, that tube style egg that they slice, right? Like that's
Yeah.
how it comes in like a tube of eggs.
Like when you get ready to make
is one of the most unappetizing things to look at, but it's still, I mean, it still tastes like an egg.
Now, I will say this. There's a crispy outer edge, like a done edge to the outside of the McMuffin that I've got.
Oh, the McMuffin.
And
yeah,
I like that. It looks to me like you didn't just pop this in a microwave, but there may have been a grill at some point. I will also
some
note
point
that
in its life cycle.
the sausage patty looks incredibly thin.
Yeah.
Incredibly thin.
Thinner sausage patty.
I don't think you're meant to get one sausage, egg, cheese McMuffin. They want you to order
If
two.
you're an adult.
Yeah.
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 These
Perfect
they're
for a
snack
kid.
size.
Okay, here we
Going
go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The egg is the dominant flavor right off the bat. It's the thickest part of the sandwich.
Yep. And since we've let them sit here, I'm not going to judge on like the sogginess of the muffin.
Right.
Because that definitely is because they've been sitting for a while. Hard to tell how crispy it was to begin with.
We don't have a heat lamp.
Yeah, for them
here.
to sit under.
Yeah.
But you have to like egg for sure to like the sausage egg McMuffin, which I do.
I just wish the egg was a little more like salty fried egg, like a pan fried egg.
Okay. Rather than a microwave tube egg.
I'm going to give the mouthfeel on this one a 2 as well. But on taste, I'm going to go up to a 3.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 3 on taste, and I will give it a 3 on mouthfeel as well.
Okay.
I feel that it's a little above mid-range for me.
Okay. So,
I know what I'm getting into with the McMuffin, you know?
right.
It's
We've
comforting.
been there and we've done that.
It's comforting.
So again, mouthfeel and taste for you are both 3s.
Both 3s.
And JJ, you said the mouthfeel was a 2?
A 2. A
But the
2.
taste was a 3?
The taste is a 3.
You got it.
This was a 100% acceptable breakfast sandwich. It's nothing I'm going to write home about. I never get sausage taste from it. I think if the sausage patty were a little thicker, and because to me, Here's the thing. This thing is touted as the sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin.
Right.
Sausage being the dominant part of the name.
Well, and I think when you get it hot and fresh at the kitchen, that's when the sausage flavor comes through the most.
Because the sausage is a little warmer and greasier.
greasy
Like it
is
hasn't
there.
all soaked in. So then, you might. But you still, I mean, like the egg is thick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, the croissant sandwich is up next.
Okay.
Right? So we might as well work our way up to the new sandwiches.
Now, do we have two
There
croissant
are two croissant
sandwiches?
sandwiches, so you can have a whole croissant sandwich to yourself.
Oh.
Yep.
Never feel like you have to fully eat your side of the sandwich as well.
Oh, I did not. And I did not.
Yeah.
I took
JJ
a
and I
bite.
are pro
You're pros.
food judgers. You
You're
know that you
pros.
go back at the end if you want more, but you only a couple bites because you don't want to get full. That affects ratings.
Yep. I should also note that yesterday I judged a chili competition, and today I'm eating a bunch of greasy breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, man.
So
Your
if
poor
there's
wife.
a long pause, if you don't hear my voice for a while, you know what happened. Okay. So the appearance of the sausage, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich. Here's one of the things I appreciate of the croissant sandwich. So they put the cheese on the very top layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see it through the little tiny hole that
like a
there is
little
in the
butt.
croissant. It's like a little butt, and it's a little cheese
It's a
inside
preview.
that butt.
It's a sneak peek, a little taste.
But really, there's not much you can see here other than the fact that the egg itself is a folded over egg that you'd see like on an
Sure.
omelet,
Yep.
not a perfect circle.
And a mixed egg too, whereas the McDonald's egg tube definitely has like a yolk in the middle,
Yep.
egg white around. This is like a uniform yellow folded egg.
Not to backtrack us too much to the previous sandwich, but one thing I've noticed in the McDonald's most recent advertising about their breakfast sandwiches is they're trying to counteract why it's in a tube shape. So now what they do is in their commercial, when they're showing like the fake footage of the meal getting prepared, like, they don't actually cook it that way.
Yep.
They're showing a little tiny skillet
Yeah.
that's exactly the size of one of those eggs.
Oh, like they crack the egg and put it in there?
Like they crack
Yeah.
the egg and put it in there. It looks like it's made of the seasoned pan, the pans that you season. Cast
like
iron.
a cast iron, yeah.
It looks like a little cast iron thing. So they're trying to make it sound like, yes, it's intentional that they're shaped like that because
Sure.
It's
we cook
rounded
them in
for flavor.
We cook them in tiny little cast iron.
There is no way that you could crack an egg in a cast iron skillet and get it like uniformly cooked in that round
Right.
shape,
Yeah,
right?
no.
Like the yolk wouldn't be quite as done as the outside. Like I crack an egg in a skillet all the time. I know how it cooks and what it looks like.
And here's the thing: in a good breakfast sandwich, to me, like if you get it at a restaurant, I want to cut the sandwich in half and have the yolk not be completely hard, so it
Yeah.
kind of oozes a little bit.
Right.
And if McDonald's was cooking them in a cast iron pan, I feel like we'd have
That
a
would-
yolk.
But then at the same time, so at a restaurant, I agree with you. I love like eggs over medium, but I don't think I want that from a fast food place.
You don't trust it,
Yep.
You'd have
not.
browning where the egg touches the pan.
Exactly.
And in these, it's just white.
Yeah, there is no browning on
If anything, they were boiled, maybe.
I will also note this that so the sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin, the middle part of the muffin is very is like brown, like as if that got toasted, but then the outside is not. But then they're very uniform in the way that they got. Like every single one gets toasted the same way.
I will say that on the McDonald's,
Britta
like
just
if
proved me
you
wrong.
that it is like it's cooked on a griddle at some point.
Like they just kind of flash
or they
fry
put
real
like
quick.
hot oil on it before they put it in the microwave.
Yeah, so Britta proved me wrong. There is some browning on there, but I don't
Only
know.
on
Also,
one side
It's not
too.
the right kind of brown.
Britta
No.
also just like here. I'll hand you some more napkins because I feel like you're gonna need them. Okay, well, let's get into this croissant sandwich here, okay? So on appearance, what are you going to give the croissant sandwich?
I will give the croissant sandwich a 3 on appearance. It
I
definitely
agree.
is more appetizing looking
This is a 5 scale, right?
Yep.
than the McMuffin is.
We didn't even talk price, too, but at one point we will,
Sure.
you know. And here we go. Now, these have been sitting here the same amount of time.
Yeah, not gonna judge on
Yep.
this kind of a soggy croissant.
But I get the sausage flavor immediately from this.
Yeah, this you're definitely eating a meat sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
It's sausage forward. I don't taste as much I don't taste the cheese as
Neither
much.
do I. Almost nothing at all.
Yeah, is that normal, or is that because they've been sitting for a while? You eat these more than I do.
I think it's because they put the sausage on top of, or they put the cheese on top of the sausage.
Okay.
And I think that if Burger King were smart, they would layer cheese above the egg as well. So the sausage is completely surrounded by a fluffy layer of cheese.
Well, and so at Tony Luke's, when they make cheesesteaks, they grill it at a low heat with the onions and the meat together, and then they put the cheese on top and they let it melt down on top of everything to kind of encase everything in cheese. Is that kind of what you think would happen if temperature was correct and you got this hot and fresh out the kitchen?
I've had this enough to know that the cheese never really stands out in this sandwich.
Right.
It's more the sausage.
Yep.
It's a zest edition.
And if they had doubled up the amount of cheese, that'd be great.
I would say watching you guys eat these is having the opposite effect of what I thought it would have, and that I would start to get hungry.
And
after
instead
watching.
you're like...
It's having the exact opposite effect.
Oh, you're like really in tummy trouble town?
I'm definitely not going to be having, at least right now, it's just not
It's not what I need this morning.
It's not desirable. I'm so glad you're here, Britta, because it would have been me and JJ, and that would have been really rough. So
You're
far,
like everything gets a -5.
So far, you've both given it a 3 in appearance.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, the taste for me is a 4. It's a 4. The mouthfeel is a 3. It's on par with kind of how I felt about the sausage, egg, and cheese, but it gets just a slight tick up because I think that the croissant is flakier. Mm-hmm. I get more like the sausage, as you said, it's sausage forward.
Yeah.
Which might be the episode title.
Okay, good.
It's very possible.
Sausage forward.
I like this sandwich, and I also feel like a single one of these sandwiches would set like that's my breakfast.
That's true. It is bigger, a little heartier than the Egg McMuffin. I will give this a 4 on taste as well, and a 3 on mouthfeel. So that's matching you, right?
Yeah.
We match perfectly on this one.
Now, I've always been somewhat hesitant about the croissant at Burger King because I've never been impressed by the croissant. I love me a good croissant. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. But I've always kind of felt that the croissant you get at Burger King is more of an attempt to make it seem fancier or higher quality than what you might get at McDonald's, when in fact, it's mostly just limp bread that isn't, like if you just wanted a croissant,
yeah,
you wouldn't go to Burger King and get one, right?
But it does, I mean, this does, like, if you look at the side, it does have a flaky nature, the way you want a croissant to have a flaky nature to it.
Right.
But they just glued that on after.
Yep,
no, I don't normally...
Is it flaky because it was designed that way or because the food is degrading?
It's designed that way. It's designed that way.
Yeah. I don't... these aren't my normal breakfast sandwich, although maybe now I will switch because I do enjoy this more than the sausage McMuffin.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
It's just not something I think about in the morning, you know? So I don't know. It's obviously pretty soggy now that it's been sitting, but is it like a puffier croissant when you first get it?
No.
Okay.
It's all like I always feel like when they wrap it
in paper and then it steams the croissant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Croissant.
So yeah, if you just want like a pastry, you wouldn't be going to Burger King for that. But it's a good what is it called? Like a good...
It's a good
vehicle
grippable
for the insides.
It's an easy way to get it from the wrapper to your gullet.
Yep, got to put that sausage and egg and cheese in something. You can't just eat that in your car.
Correct.
So now there are 3 Wendy's sandwiches sitting in front of you right now.
Yes.
And they're very different. I chose 3 as different as I could go because they have like 10 sandwiches and I knew we couldn't get through all of them.
Well, I mean...
Now, one of these sandwiches is much like what you've had already.
And I think we start with that.
Start with that one?
I think we start with the sausage
Perfect.
Wendy's sandwich. Now, this is the first time I've ever seen it, so this will be an interesting
back
and forth, huh? So this is on a biscuit. Oh. Okay.
Ooh.
So, unlike the other sandwiches, this one has enough cheese on it that it actually gripped to the wrapper.
Yep.
Which is, I think, a good sign. Mm-hmm. The egg is a weird hybrid between the sausage, egg, and cheese
This looks like it was a real egg that was cooked, right? That was cracked into a skillet or something like that, and then
look at that
cooked.
yolk color though. Like that is a very yellow yolk. Like that is almost like a neon yellow yolk.
Major props. Their sausage patties,
Is also square.
just like their burger, is square. So right off the bat, that's attention grabbing to me.
You know it's Wendy's.
Yep, you know you've got a Wendy's sandwich in front of you. The biscuit itself is a light brown color. I don't know. To me, that's not as appetizing. Like,
you think so?
Yeah.
Because I think that it actually held up really well sitting here and looks the best comparatively, like, to what I'm looking at that we already ate.
Because it looks like a biscuit.
Yeah, and like it, you know, like let's be honest, the Burger King croissant took a beating sitting for a long time.
Sad looking
It's trouble with
sandwich.
presentation over periods of time.
Yep. And the McMuffin has its classic look, but I don't know. This biscuit to me looks pretty good.
All right.
Looks intriguing.
Britta's excited. So appearance, what are you going to give the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit from
on
Wendy's?
appearance, I'm going to give this one a 4.
Okay. I'm going to give this one a 3 because I would like my biscuit a little browner.
Okay.
I like myself some brown biscuits. Let's cut this in half. Oh, I mean, the knife went through it and it stood standing the whole time. It's not like the sausage, egg, and cheese where I had to like hold it together.
Yeah.
So left or right?
And whichever.
If you feel
I'm
the
gonna
need to
give this
nuke
one.
these two, we certainly can.
Nope, I think this is part of the process.
How it holds up over time, because you don't always eat
So
fast food
this
right
is
away.
That's true.
easily the thickest sausage
Yes.
out of the 3 sandwiches so far.
I would say so.
It is also small, but I feel like because the egg is thick and the sausage is thick, I probably only need one of these.
It's like a neutron star where it's small, but it's dense. It's densely
Well, and
packed.
like the biscuit's really thick as well.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're getting
It's got
a
a
full
thick
meal.
biscuit.
Thick biscuit.
thick sausage and thick biscuit.
Now, they
That's what
are
we're about here in JJ.
Wendy's is promising a fresh cracked eggs in these sandwiches.
Which
So-
I think, like, I mean, you can see that there's like, if you're looking in the middle, that the yolk definitely didn't get cooked evenly.
Mm-hmm.
It does
Oh,
look like
sure,
there
yeah,
are
yeah.
parts where it. So like I tend to believe that more than on like the McDonald's one being cooked
yeah.
in a cast iron skillet.
It
but
also has the sides of a fried egg too. You know, like how
Yeah,
there's
the
sort of
little
those-
crispy
the-
crunchies.
Yeah, the little
Yep.
egg strings.
I was in the drive-through for probably about 5 minutes after making the order, and I was the only person in the drive-through, so they had to take a couple of minutes to make these sandwiches.
Okay,
Like they weren't ready-made.
okay, here we go.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay. The biscuit is very dry.
Yep, that's a lot of biscuit.
It's a lot of biscuit.
Now it does have like a good buttery flavor, but I really only taste biscuit.
I mean, I would if this was a cheddar bay biscuit, no problem. But it's just it's a dry biscuit. The egg is the best tasting part of this thing. I'm getting the fried egg on this big time.
How's that sausage? That thick sausage? It looks burnt to me.
To
my
be honest-
eyes. The skin of it.
It doesn't. I don't think it tastes like anything. It's almost like they just took like old ground beef.
Oof.
Yeah,
It doesn't have what you'd consider a traditional sausage taste.
flavor, or like it's missing salt compared to other fast food sausages.
I was gonna say tang.
It's not as
Tang,
savory.
salt, yeah, definitely not as savory on the sausage. It's also like not as greasy. It doesn't have your classic sausage flavor. So mostly you're eating like biscuit and egg on that one.
Yep.
And I think like the biscuit tastes pretty good, but it is like
It's too
dry.
much.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna have to put this down to a 2 for mouthfeel for me because the biscuit.
It was hard to chew.
Yeah, it's
I'd
so
agree
much
with
biscuit.
the 2 on that. I will say that it's a 3 on flavor though.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, we're matching anyways.
we're right. We're right in sync.
That's why
nice.
we eat together so often because we like the same
we
things.
can go the same place.
Also, have you talked on it, like on your podcast about Famous Dave's canceling their Sunday buffet?
I have not. I'm glad that you brought it up, though. So, Britta and I are brunch aficionados, and one of the best brunches, the most like off the beaten path brunches, was Famous Dave's barbecue joint. Had a brunch, and it was like rib tips and like
and you got your
potatoes.
classic. They always had like the cheesy hash browns and scrambled eggs, and then all the meats. Like you could load up on all the meats. It's probably the best buffet for your money.
Yeah, and we went there looking for it last Sunday, and they're like, "Nope, we don't do it anymore." And it was a sad moment. It was like I remember thinking,
it broke my heart a little bit.
I want barbecue, and I already parked, so I guess I'll stay here and order off the menu.
Was it a popular thing? Like, were you seeing a lot of people go to it?
Whenever we went, I feel like it was pretty full in there.
I don't think that Famous Dave's, like, the blushes off the rose. We had to wait, like 20 minutes to be sat, but that's because I don't think that they had enough servers.
Sure.
But
yeah.
It was very sad to not have it.
It was the only brunch buffet that had mini corn dogs on it too. Like there was just like good. It was and mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was it's so sad.
Like a big vat of coleslaw.
Wow.
Like the thing was like it was a great brunch that you couldn't have every single time you went out for brunch, but once every like quarter.
So
you go out there.
Would this
and
be fives across the board for taste, mouthfeel, and appearance? With
the Famous Dave's
brunch.
I mean, the
appearance was not great.
No, it's just because it's like still chafing dishes on the red plaid tablecloth down the center. And I feel like it's also one of the only brunches that also had a lot of children at it. I feel like the other ones kind of take place at more like bar venues. You know, not that you don't see kids there, but
kids don't belong at brunch. Adults only.
That's
at
a
brunch.
Strong statement.
Yep.
I agree.
Wow.
Because they put their hands in things.
Right. Like when we were at this thing, one of these kids put their hand like into or like all over the spoon that the Wilbur's baked beans was on. Like now no one can enjoy baked beans.
Well, they stand at a height that the sneeze guard isn't going to do anything.
No,
this
they're
did not
sneezing
have a sneeze guard.
There was no sneeze guard in Famous Dave's.
They pushed a couple tables together and used that as their
It's like
buffet
down the
line.
center where the gas pump is. That's where they would set it up.
It's like set up like a Lutheran like church breakfast, basically.
Exactly. Yep.
Rest in peace, Famous Dave's Sunday brunch.
So you guys got there's two more Wendy's sandwiches in front of you here.
I would say a traditional, the more traditional of the two we have left would be the Baconator, breakfast Baconator, because it's bacon.
Sure.
The other one's chicken. Would you like to work our way up to chicken, or would you like to go to chicken and then to bacon?
No, let's work our way up to chicken.
Okay, excellent. So the bacon. Also, this is interesting. The foil that this is wrapped in says "do not microwave," so there must be some kind of metal in this foil,
like normal aluminum foil.
Yeah, it's
but this
foil.
isn't. But it's not foil. Like I mean, look at it is very much like it feels like a paper product.
It's like a gum wrapper.
Yeah.
So that's it. But the shiny on the outside is still aluminum. You know?
But whereas you can microwave the other two wrappers.
Oh, that's, true. Although, like, I think that the foil wrapper is the prettiest.
I do too. It's attention grabbing.
So for what I'm looking at right now, I'm trying
This is like a burger.
Yeah,
it looks like a burger.
Is there an egg in there, though? I think there's an egg in there.
Yep, I see some egg without removing the bun.
This is sausage and bacon on it.
Okay. And it is, I mean, it's got Baconator in the name.
Sure.
So obviously this bacon
signature
has come
sandwich.
back in time to kill John Connor through cholesterol.
Or to protect him from a more advanced Baconator.
That would be Baconator 2, the Bacon Judgment Day. It is a hamburger bun, though.
Yes.
Straight up.
Yep. So this bun, there's nothing biscuity or croissant-y about this bun.
This is like a breakfast burger, barnyard burger. Although I think it still is the sausage patty rather than a burger patty, right?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then let's look at the bacon quickly.
Bacon is a big sign of weakness depending on how well they make it. And
Yeah,
Right.
and this does not scream Baconator to me.
No, it
This-
is.
that looks like Denny's bacon.
Oh, hold on. So there are strips of bacon above the egg.
Oh, double baconing. Okay,
So
okay.
it looks like maybe there's 4 strips of bacon on here.
I do like the layered, like that's nice. I like that they put bacon below and above the egg. They
There's
also put cheese below and
Yeah.
above the egg.
Double cheese.
Okay. Now I like that's some effort. I enjoy
Now
that.
that's either effort or it's an attempt to mask flavorlessness.
Sure.
Because you add in some American cheese, you're just guaranteed some sodium flavory savoriness.
Now, was this the one that promised the Swiss cheese sauce as well?
I believe so. So that
Okay.
might be mixed in.
Must be on the
I
top.
feel like I do maybe see it. I don't know, cut it.
I'm going to try and just do this real quick. Oh,
Yep. Something white and
nope.
cheesy.
Well, I just didn't want to ruin the
The
I don't-
appearance that you've already
I don't want to
ruined.
do a pull apart on this thing and have it be ruined. Okay,
Yeah, see, so this is one you wouldn't want to tear, right?
No, I could tear it.
You
I'm
think
just saying I would look at the direction the bacon is running, north, south, or east or west, and I would tear appropriately.
We had a big
Okay.
discussion before this started of whether or not we cut these or tear them.
And were you fighting about it?
No, I mean, just
I think didn't we have this on air?
I
Might have
think
been
we
talked
did.
about on air.
Yeah, because you definitely got the knife while we were
Yeah,
talking.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So take your half a sandwich, and I'll take mine.
Now, appearance wise, I like the layers and stuff, but the like just plain burger bun really, I think, knocks it down.
It also doesn't fit correctly. Like if you look at this, like to me, there is definitely one side of my sandwich that is hollow. And
Too much bun.
Too much bun. And this is definitely the one that has the sauce on it because if you squeeze your sandwich,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the sauce
There's
comes out a
definitely,
little
I mean,
bit
I think it used to be sauce, but now it's
congeal.
congealed a little bit. I didn't want to use that word. Sounds so
do you
gross.
have ratings on appearance?
Yeah,
You give it?
appearance. I'm actually gonna give this one. I'm gonna give it a 2 for the bun.
I'm actually gonna take it to a 1.
You're gonna take it to
because
a
of the
1.
bun.
Which means
it
it's going to really need to make it up in these other spots.
It looks half-assed in that sense. So here we go, and I've got a perfect bite here that's got bacon,
Yeah,
egg with yolk, and then sausage.
I'm gonna take this this corner over here.
Nice. Cheers.
Cheers.
Now this is the first one that made a sound when I bit into it.
Did it go, no, don't eat me?
It was like a squishy sound.
The bacon is it has a good taste in this.
It does. I also think it's either the 2 layers of cheese or the Swiss cheese sauce that definitely, like, this is the first time I'm tasting cheese on one of these sandwiches, and real salty,
Yeah.
which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
I also think that should not be confined to just a breakfast menu.
No.
I could have this on my way home from the bar and be a very happy boy.
And it's definitely sausage and not beef.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, yep.
You can see their attempt at putting flavor into the sausage, although just like the other one, I feel like they've under-seasoned their sausage at Wendy's. But you can't really tell that on this one since there's the cheese and bacon flavor coming through.
I would say that this is just slightly below restaurant quality.
I really think it was
Below restaurant quality.
Now, when you were
Non-fast food restaurant quality. is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Sit down.
like the Village Inn breakfast sandwich.
Right.
Tucker, you picked these ones up from Wendy's?
Yeah.
Did you pick what bun it was on, or you just ordered each thing and that's what they came on?
I ordered what it was listed as coming with, so I
Okay.
did not specify the bun. And I
Okay.
was looking for diversity amongst sandwiches.
Sure.
But bun was only one of the things I was looking at.
Yeah. Because I think that that's the only downfall for me is really that it's on a regular hamburger bun.
Yep. My mouthfeel on that one is going to be a 4, and my taste is a 5.
Whoa.
I thought this one was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I like the bacon. I like the sausage. To me, the egg isn't this overly processed eggy flavor.
No, it's just there. Like you can
Yeah.
tell there's an egg on it, but it's not egg forward.
Like I'm very I'm very excited to try this like fresh from the kitchen.
I agree. I'm gonna give it I'll give it a 4 on taste and a 5 on mouthfeel. I'm gonna go at swapsies with you, because even though it is like the hamburger bun, I felt that it was like the easiest to bite into and stay all together, and it also like you could feel the layers when you bit into it.
Right.
I enjoy that. Like I know I'm eating multi-layered sandwich rather than kind of the other ones that you just kind of bite into one solid sandwich.
I'm gonna also throw this out there, because they chose just a standard everyday bun. The vehicle, as Britta put it earlier, the thing you grip onto to get the sandwich in there. This breakfast sandwich, the Baconator breakfast sandwich, relies solely on what's between the vehicle versus the other ones which try and feature the vehicle.
Right, where you're getting too much biscuit or the croissant. I also think, like, if you're eating breakfast in your car, that's probably the easiest one to eat. Now, when that Swiss cheese sauce is, like, hot and melty, maybe not as much so. Gotta be careful with that. But it, like, everything else kind of has a fall apart aspect to it. That with the bun, it, like, holds it all very nicely.
The other sandwiches are more carb forward.
Yes.
Okay.
And this one is just literally using the carbs as the vehicle for the flavor in between.
Also, if the listener could actually see this, in front of Britta is 4 half of sandwiches, and they're nicely arranged on a wrapper. I have got this disgusting pile that I've kind of created over here.
Like, it looks like you're not going to go back for any of these at the end.
I'm not.
It has been rough.
Totally am.
What are you gonna go back
because
to?
like you have other stuff to do today, right?
Yeah.
I don't. So like either I'm going to eat them now, or like I'm going to wrap them up and eat them later and then take a nap. Like that's
good
my
move.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last but not least,
Is the chicken.
I believe it's a maple chicken.
Okay.
Oh, so this is interesting. This is on a croissant. So this is not the biscuit that we thought it was going to be. It is on a croissant.
Interesting.
That's wow. That doesn't look like a croissant from where
It's a square.
Yeah.
It actually. Oh, can you smell that?
That's a lot of maple. A lot of maple. Okay.
This is the first one that like I can smell it. I can smell it from opening.
Now I smell it.
Maybe it's supposed to be French toast. Like when you look at the bottom of this, doesn't this kind of look like maybe it's supposed to be like French toast or something?
Like, do you think they're trying to do a chicken and waffles vibe?
Yeah, maybe.
Like along those lines?
I don't know. This would have to be something that we'd look into more.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the top of this looks like it's a croissant, right?
It does.
It's supposed to be a flaky, square shape. Also, I find interesting, this is the only square-shaped
Bun.
like vehicle
Yep.
out of all the Wendy's opportunities.
But then, if I'm not mistaken, like this has chicken on it that's not square. So why?
Wendy's didn't really think this one out so much. On appearance, this one's like
It's beige.
a 2, yeah.
Yeah, I would give this one a 1 on appearance. Like this is just is beige and a
And
little
it's-
shiny, which I don't know if they brushed, like if that's like a butter shiny croissant thing or if it's actually like maple syrup, since
Sure.
that's the smell I'm getting.
That maple
which
scent
makes
is
me think
overwhelming.
That it's going to be sticky
really is.
to eat, to touch.
I
So
will say watching you two do this has not been good for me.
Yeah.
And this is the worst part. Is smelling
maple.
smelling this maple right now.
Sweet
My
scent.
gutty works are going. So they're so happy that they haven't had anything in them at the moment. But
Okay, here we go. Let's cut this one in half. I'm getting a little resistance.
it is the last sandwich, so it's sat the longest for sure.
Okay. So the inside of it is got an interesting look to it. So I can see a maple sheen to the lower bun.
As opposed to like
it definitely, I think, was brushed on the chicken, and this is like a breaded chicken patty.
Yep.
And then there's also bacon on it. It does not look like there is no cheese.
No cheese. Well, and I don't think you want cheese, right?
No, not with maple.
as opposed to a maple Estevez.
It looks like there's plenty of bacon on. I almost think that there's as much bacon on this as there was on the Baconator.
Right.
In the bottom of the bun, like the maple has definitely look at where you grip it, like the maple has seeped through the bottom bun.
Yeah, a little bit. But that's our fault for leaving it sit.
But I'm just saying, like, you don't want to give this to your kids. So then they're going to get their fingers all sticky.
Kids are always sticky.
Yeah. Okay, let's go into this.
Well, I think we have a winner, guys. I can't tell if this is because you've tasted 4 sandwiches before it.
No.
Or if it's just how this is set up.
This one is a misstep, Wendy's. Here's
Drink your sodas if you need.
Here's what I'm getting from this sandwich. It is such a mismatch of flavors.
You know what this tastes like? Do you remember those frozen like French toast sticks?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what
smells like
Yes, it is.
Like the fake maple syrup taste. Like for Wendy's being so fresh all the time, I'm very disappointed in how fake maple syrup this tastes. And I don't know if it's because we let it sit, but something is very crunchy, and I don't think it's the bacon. It's like
I think it's the breading on the chicken.
Sugar crystalled chicken.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, and that might be because we let it sit too long. Whereas the maple syrup would have been more
It formed crystals on the bacon.
or on the the breading of the chicken.
I just don't find anything about this appealing.
It's very sweet. It's a unique breakfast fast food option.
Yep.
But like in no way would I order this again.
I have a suggestion for you, Wendy's. I love your spicy chicken sandwich.
Ooh. Spicy breakfast?
Yeah, why not? Like, throw some cheese, like some pepper jack cheese and an egg on this thing, and this could be a spicy breakfast sandwich. And I would definitely dig that more than I'm digging this.
Yeah, no, I think that gets a 1 for the weird crunchy mouth feel, and for sure a 1 for flavor.
So 1's across the board for you.
Yeah.
And I've got 1s on my mouthfeel and taste as well.
I'm
you had a
sad
2
that
in
we
appearance.
saved it for last.
Yep. The only thing that gave it that 2 for appearance is I included the smell as part of the appearance.
Sure, and
like
the first hit of it was like, ooh, maple. Yeah.
breakfast.
But now like it smells like fake frozen frozen French toast sticks that remind me of like sad childhood mornings.
This is the type of thing that you grab at the airport and regret for the rest of your travels.
Yep. You're like, ooh, maple chicken. That sounds good.
Oh, I should have done the
I'll
airport
pay
sushi.
$8 for a maple chicken sandwich.
I'll also say this. Why not put it between 2 little mini waffles?
You know, we should really look up what this is supposed to be. Like, is it supposed to be French toast, like you said, or is it a croissant?
Tucker wasn't given options.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I think maybe you could pick, and maybe that would make it better if it was, like, if that was on the biscuit that didn't have any flavor other than biscuit, maybe it would have been better, but otherwise it all tastes like maple syrup.
It feels
and
like
the
a
bad
lean
kind.
in to chicken and waffles, I think.
Now, Britta, you do get to assign 4 points to any sandwich. Now, it can be because of nostalgia. It can be because you tasted something great today. What sandwich is going to get a bonus 4 points? Because really, right now, we have a front runner.
I mean, we have a solid. We know who's in first place and who's in 5th place for sure.
Yeah.
Wendy's takes top and bottom honors
for the moment, unless these
Can
bonus
I give
points are up.
the 4 points for being for it being sad, like pity points?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you give some pity
It
points.
sounds like they are your points to award.
Yeah.
They are,
However
yeah.
you wish.
I'm gonna give my extra points to this one because you were so bad. I feel bad for you. No, I will give them to. I'm gonna give them to the Wendy's Baconator.
Guess what? In a stunning upset, JJ also gives his extra 4 points to the Wendy's Baconator, which didn't even need them.
Didn't.
Because it was winning already.
It was already in first place.
But it was the best tasting sandwich. And I think, like, if this was a real competition, taste would be weighed
What do
the
you mean
heaviest.
this is a real competition.
If this was a sanctioned event, taste would be weighted the heaviest anyway. So I tend to, like, go with that as my gut for, like, the one that tasted the best should be the winner, you know? And it definitely tasted the best.
That's a sandwich I could have at breakfast. It's a sandwich I could order at lunch and still be happy with. Also, it's the you can get a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant-wich, but I feel like the bacon was crispy. It was good bacon that was on that sandwich. The Swiss cheese sauce knocked it out of the park. In fact, they should think about maybe including that sauce on some other things.
Yeah, like I would like to dip fries in that sauce, I think.
What is Wendy's breakfast potato?
Oh.
Did they have an option out there? Did they show something?
They did. I'm trying to remember what it was. It looked more substantial. It looked more like breakfast potato fries almost.
Okay.
From what I saw, but I didn't order any,
Interesting.
so I'm not quite sure. But it looks like they're not doing straight up hash browns and they're not doing tots.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Something new to try.
Well, let's do a quick rundown of the scoring from today. So in absolute first place, without question, with 29 points is the Baconator. And 29 is after the 8 bonus points you guys gave. Without the bonus points, it had a 21 and was still in first place comfortably.
21 out of 30.
21 out of 30. Yep, gotcha.
Nice.
Following the Baconator was the Burger King Croissant-Wich with 20 points. And
I want to correct you. There is no T
croissant.
in croissant-wich.
Croissant.
Yeah, I mean, they don't say croissant-wich. It's croissant-wich.
Croissant-wich.
Yeah, there's
Croissant-wich.
no T.
Croissant-wich.
Yeah.
So the BK Croissant-Wich takes second place with 20 points, and that was one that you both agreed on completely.
There was a difference of 1 point between that and our leader?
Yeah.
Wow.
If we wouldn't have given out the bonus,
Right.
yeah.
So
Okay.
it still would have been in second place, but it was very, very close. Third place was Wendy's Sausage. That came up with 17 points total. Britta, you thought its appearance was the best out of all of them. And JJ, you kind of gave it a 3-2-3, so you seemed happy with the sandwich overall, not with the mouthfeel as much, but that was a real straight down the middle, like, you guys got this one. You guys know what's going on. Fourth place, and I'm a little sad about this because this is my go-to breakfast sandwich, is the
Same,
McDonald's
yeah.
sausage and egg.
Yep.
Although I typically do a biscuit, I typically don't do the English muffin, but the McMuffin is the classic. It's the absolute classic, and I do love it in McMuffin style. That was 15 points. And you two only disagreed on mouthfeel. Britta gave it a 3, you gave it a 2. And it sounds, I mean, he's a Burger King guy anyways, and not a
Right.
McDonald's guy when it comes to breakfast. So
Yeah.
I think it makes sense that there was this difference. And dead last with 7 points
Ooh.
was the maple chicken from Wendy's. Dead last. That's almost a 10-point difference from the place before it. It's an 8-point difference.
It was not a good sandwich.
No, and
In fact, if you guys had given it your bonus points, it would have been tied for 4th place.
Wow.
But you would have both need to have given it your bonus points.
That's a lot of pity points to award something.
Yeah. Now I wonder if this changes on a different day, where you start with the maple chicken, so it's nice and fresh.
I don't think
But
that
you don't think
freshness
so?
has anything to do with this sandwich.
Okay.
I think it is mismatched when it comes to flavors.
It's hard to smell. Like, I'm having trouble smelling it.
Right.
this office is going to smell like fast food forever.
It really is.
That's great, because the Food of the North people are coming in next.
Yeah. they don't waste food, and then I've got my hill of breakfast sandwiches. We should also note that we have been chasing this down with orange juice from McDonald's, which I don't feel is any juice at all. I feel it's orange drink.
Well, that's the same for almost any orange juice you get anywhere.
I thought McDonald's was like Minute Maid orange juice. I think it's legit.
But even
I
that,
don't taste any pulp
but
or
even
anything.
that-
in there.
Well,
There's,
no,
like-
pulp free. Gross. You like pulp in
I
your
love
orange
some
juice?
pulp.
Ugh.
Pulp proves the point.
I don't like chunks in anything I drink. Like if it's liquid, it's got to be liquid. Gross.
do you
I
drink
enjoy
things with ice?
McDonald's orange juice a lot.
So boba tea is you think
no,
is
I
disgusting.
can't do that. Yeah, it like makes me gag. I don't like tapioca pudding either. Ugh.
Well, that's not a drink.
Yeah, but it like it's semi-liquid.
Do you have issues with like blizzards once they get a little too melty and they're more liquidy?
Well, if I'm eating, I guess tapioca
In your
pudding. I
face.
probably like hate for different reasons. If I'm eating it with a spoon, it's okay to have chunks. But if I'm sucking something through a straw, I never want to feel a chunk.
So the straw
It's probably
as
the
the
straw.
channel.
yeah.
is what really.
Yep.
Here's a question for the two of you. Was there one thing that you felt all of these sandwiches were missing that you would really love to see to complete your breakfast sandwich?
I think more cheese is what I think
Most of them.
More cheese could improve the taste of these by probably at least 1 point.
I also might be completely on my own with this, but like a slice of tomato. Your face. No. I like to have more of like I don't know, like something.
Okay.
A little more acidic on my sandwich.
I think so. If these places really want to take a bite out of, when I think of going somewhere to get a breakfast food, I'm going to Panera. I am going to Starbucks even, because they do these like little egg cups. Caribou Coffee has amazing little egg sandwiches in the morning that have spinach and avocado.
Yep.
And so what I think is the fast food giants, what they're missing is that fresh,
Yep.
that veggie fresh feel in the
of
morning.
some sort. But I also like don't want them to just start putting sad lettuce on them
Right.
either. But something like that would be there's not
some more
like
roughage.
Yes. There's not a breakfast sandwich, because it's actually one of the things I love about Wendy's burgers is how much other stuff they pile on it. Like I love the whole onions and lettuce and tomato and mayo that you hate.
I hate it.
It shows
That's
that,
like my favorite part.
It shows that they're new to the breakfast game and they're swinging for the fences because they got the best sandwich and the worst sandwich on today's rating.
So
Right.
they were in a boardroom being like, yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
They'll learn a lesson soon, I think, though.
The janitor came in and he's like, I've always really loved the smell of maple syrup and chicken
Yes. So if you
on a
had
biscuit.
if you had HM Wendy sitting here, what would you say to him?
Well, his name is Dave Thomas.
Well,
if we brought him back to life,
in my world, he has a grandfather named HM Wendy,
okay,
who came over on a steamboat, and they had to change their last name to Thomas because they were ashamed of having
Right.
Wendy as a last name.
they're the redheaded Wendy.
But that he went back and that his grandfather actually had pigtails too, and a lot of people just didn't know that.
It used to be all the rage.
Yeah.
Man's
Plus,
pigtails.
DT was kind of a D, so let's just say HM Wendy's is a guy or a woman, and you're going to talk to them right now about their offerings.
I would say I'm glad you're in the breakfast game. It's about time.
Welcome.
Yep. You don't have to worry about Taco Bell because they'll never nail it. Taco Bell needs to say, like, why are we even worrying about breakfast? Let's serve tacos at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
There are people out there who want that.
Yeah, their whole marketing should be drunk ? Try Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not even try Taco Bell. It's drunk ? Taco Bell nearby. I would say, I think that you can continue to add to your breakfasts by doing what you do best. So your burgers, I think, are amazing. They taste so darn good. Why does your sausage lack?
Lack in flavoring.
Put the same effort into your sausage that you would before.
Be more sausage forward.
A spicy chicken breakfast sandwich is money in the bank. That you could easily put tomato on.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
And I also would recommend putting the Swiss cheese sauce on more things.
Well, would you put egg on that thing that'd make it a breakfast sandwich, or would it merely be a spicy chicken sandwich in
I'd
the
put an
morning?
egg on it.
Okay.
I'd put egg. I'd put pepper jack cheese.
So maybe some bacon.
Yeah. Or how about this? Maybe a little pico.
Ooh.
I would love some peppercorn crusted bacon on something like that. Would be
Okay.
really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be
like
nice.
have multiple bacon options. In fact, why not just come up and say, okay, treat this like a real brunch buffet would be, which is here are building elements A, building elements B, building elements C, and you choose what goes on, like when you go to Subway. So you can get a flatbread breakfast sandwich, but it's not, oh, here's this particular one that has this stuff on it. It's you start with the flatbread and then you build your way up on the offerings. So if I went in there and I said, okay, I'm going to have a traditional burger bun with sausage, egg, bacon. I'm going to add this Swiss cheese sauce, and I'm also going to add onion and breakfast potatoes on the sandwich.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
So let me build it.
I have to bathroom break really bad, so you guys wrap this up. I'm very proud of the both of you.
Thank
You ate, you ate nothing,
I
too.
ate nothing, but I've been in pain this whole time,
Oh,
and now I'm
that's
ready
too
to
bad.
go make this happen.
Britta, what about you? Anything that you would offer up to Wendy's?
I would say the Swiss cheese sauce on more items. Like I would like to be able to put that on more items. Is Tucker throwing up?
Sounded like it. I hope he made it.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, and I think, I don't know, I wish that this Baconator sandwich had been on a different bun. Like that's what I'm going to go try, right? I'm just going to drive to Wendy's and order more food. I also want to try whatever type of breakfast potato they're rocking.
Are you going to tell them, like, I was just on a podcast reviewing these? And
Yeah. Be like, I know, JJ Meets World, write it down. It'll be up in what, a week, 2 weeks?
We're on JJ Meets World. You guys, we did it. We finally got his
And
attention.
then they give us unlimited coupons
Oh, that
for
would be
free
great.
sandwiches.
If Wendy's would like to get a hold of us, they just have to email jj@jjmeetsworld.com and you can get on top of it. I think, like, there's nothing here that I would say is awful. They all have a time and a place.
the maple chicken thing?
Even the maple chicken one, like if I was driving, like if someone brought that back to like a hotel and we were leaving out of town, I could
Eat it. Sure.
and be fine, right?
I would, and that's one maybe that I would try again fresh just to see if it really made that much of a difference. I have my doubts because I think that fake maple flavor is the same whether it's fresh or not. But
Right, it's a chemical. You're eating a chemical.
yeah, I'd be willing to try it again. I probably am going to pass on their biscuit sandwiches though.
But if someone brought that to you and you were
I'd
hungry,
still eat it. Yeah, like I'm still going to eat what's left
Right.
over on my plate. I just have different levels of like hating myself
Right.
for eating them.
Right. And it'll be really interesting because later today, no matter what happens with both of our gutty works, I feel like it's going to be a sad afternoon.
Yeah, naps and toilet time.
Yep,
That's all I have in my future.
Britta Nelson, always a pleasure to have you here. If you want to go back and listen to some of Britta's previous episodes, of course, she's been on our D&D episodes, but we also did a food-centered episode with Britta where she shared some pretty amazing recipes.
Yes. Yep.
And then you can go back to her very first one where we talk about her concert affinity.
My trip to Disney World and my love of raccoons, I think.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground in that one. Britta, thank you again for stopping by the JJ Meets World Studios, and let's just call it $15 for the sandwiches that you ate today.
Sure. No problem.
Venmo me. A huge thanks to Natalie Deutsch of Hatch Realty for sponsoring this podcast. Folks, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, contact Natalie Deutsch today because Natalie Deutsch is not only a previous podcast guest, she's somebody who's going to care enough to sell your property for top dollar. She's also going to find you the best price possible if you're purchasing a new home. Last year on average, Natalie earned her clients $4,000 over list price on their homes and sold them faster than the market average. On average, Natalie's selling a home every 3.74 days. That's 2 homes a week. Those numbers don't lie. Find out why Natalie is one of the top agents in this entire market. Get a hold of her today, Natalie at hatchrealtyfm.com. You can also call 701-388-9338 or go on to livefargomorehead.com. That's livefargomorehead.com. Read all of her amazing reviews, and then listen to her episode of JJ Meets World. Thanks again to Natalie Deutsch of Hatch Realty. That's going to wrap it up for today's show. If you enjoyed this episode of JJ Meets World and would like to help us continue to produce 2 new episodes every week, you can donate to our Patreon. Check out patreon.com/JJMeetsWorld and donate today. Even as little as $1 a month can go a long way. Visit our website at www.jjmeetsworld.com or hit up our social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the sites the kids are using these days. If you'd like to stay up to date on new episodes of JJ Meets World, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or wherever you consume the podcast that you love. JJ Meets World is produced every week by Tucker Lucas. You can find out more about Tucker's work by checking out www.moonbasemaria.com. If you want to get in touch with your host with the most, go to linebenders.com, and you can find direct contact info for JJ. Oh man, I gotta go poop.